Welcome back to my channel. In the free group sessions that I do live on Sundays on my Facebook page that you are seeing right now on the screen, you've heard me say that in some way we are controlled by programs, and these dictate the way we respond and react to our own thoughts, emotions, interactions, and life events, meaning they affect us both internally and externally. This is a fairly broad topic, so I've decided to divide it into several videos. This is the first part, and I suggest you listen to these audios several times each, because one thing is what we grasp at the surface of the logical mind, cognitively, and a completely different thing is to become aware of this. When something inside us suddenly connects, and it's not coming from the intellect, but from your inner wisdom. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tap the bell in the option All to receive a notification when I publish the next episodes. Listening to these audios more than once will allow you to digest it in a different way. If you want to tell me about your experience or if you have questions, please write them below in the comment section to address them and resolve your concerns in the upcoming videos. What are these programs that are controlling us, and where did they come from? These programs are also known as paradigms. They are structures and layouts that are made up of a multitude of concepts and habits that are deeply embedded in us in an unconscious way. Precisely, that's what makes us not realize that we are being controlled by said programs, structures, or layouts. We did not make those paradigms. Someone else did. Someone else wrote the code for the paradigm, like a computer program, and that is controlling us. While we did not make the paradigm or program, we did accept it. We took it as valid, true, or absolute. We did do that, even if it was also in an unconscious way, mainly during upbringing, although this continues to happen in adulthood. I will elaborate on this in the following videos. Most of this information, these structures or programs, come from other times and spaces. They come from issues that you have yet to resolve, from your ancestors, and even from the collective of humanity. Basically, we are talking about thousands of years of obsolete programming. But when we haven't resolved and transcended all that, we continue to execute those same programs even though we are living in another time. In other words, it's as if our ancestors were living through us, and then we continue in a loop, in a spiral, repeating those unresolved issues as if it were a relay race where we keep passing the baton from one generation to the next, diluting problems very slowly through centuries and generations, usually with hardship and suffering. And what we don't resolve ourselves, we pass it to our descendants. All this influences not only our mind, emotions, psyche, and the spirit. It can also affect matter, our tissues, cells, molecules, and atoms, thus distorting the normal functions of our body and causing trouble of various sorts. That's why there are so many people suffering from pain, aches, and illnesses that allopathic medicine cannot always solve. Sometimes people are told there's nothing wrong with them because the medical studies come out normal, but they don't feel well, and if they insist on mentioning the discomfort and symptoms, Some physicians even tell them that they are imagining things or exaggerating. For example, I've had many cases like these. On other occasions, they are prescribed some pills and that's it. But it doesn't solve the problem. There are even people saying that the drugs they're taking don't relieve them. I want to emphasize that we're reviewing the scope of this and the reason why many people have already convinced themselves that there are things that have no solution without having explored other possibilities, taking a medical diagnosis as something absolute, sometimes even as a sentence. This is another paradigm because it's in each one of us to remember that we're not just a physical body, and that on many occasions the answers are in other dimensions of our being. Therefore, considering a diagnosis as something absolute wouldn't be necessarily accurate. If you are wondering why we do that, well, we do it because we are programmed to do it. That is precisely what the program or paradigm does. It controls your perception of what's happening. It dictates how you respond and react to life events, and the repetition of all this turns it into automatic patterns. It's only when you break them that you begin to become aware that there are other possibilities. Firstly, you must realize that there are many things that you do automatically. Secondly, you must take specific actions to unlearn and deprogram yourself. This is how you can produce changes in your life. What changes, you ask? Anything you want, really. The truth is that there are no limits because we are beings with infinite potential, and this implies that you can define your future at will. At the end of this month, May 2022, I will open another group for the Subconscious Mind Mastery Workshop. It's a training that I teach in small groups several times a year, in case you want me to guide you in this transformation process. I will link the workshop video at the end of this one and in the description box below. We will continue talking about the programs and paradigms in the next videos. So if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel and tap the bell, choose all, so that you receive a notification when I publish new videos. If you liked this video, please give it a thumbs up, share it on your socials, and leave a comment to know what you thought about this topic, if you learned something new, or if you have questions so I can include them in the upcoming videos. Thank you very much for your attention. Until next time.